meeting to order for the Ogdensburg Bridge and Port Authority. Same time, I will notify that we will not be having a border station meeting. There's no need in one. I can see in my notes here. So we'll go right into our agenda for the Ogdensburg Port Authority, Wednesday, March 2nd at 3 p.m. The meeting was called. Okay, letters of communications to the board.
Things in your communication packet that bring you 20 pages in. Also, similar history, the case, 1990. If you would, at your leisure, if you could look at that, appreciate it.
Okay. Is that all we have?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Approval of the minutes, if any. Okay. Comments, presentation of citizens regarding the agenda items. Everything, Frank? Okay. We'll go right down to staff reports.
Briefly, things that we talked about last time, the recommendations for the CSEA contract negotiations have been prepared and discussed with council. We've requested and it looks like those dates may be on March 23rd. Get back with you, Frank, and we can there. Main span rehabilitation continues on the reduced winter schedule. Have 2.1 outstanding on reimbursement. We've altered the contract at the authority to had a couple of conversations this past month with the Canadian Council, two of them that you see there before. GSA matter is starting to resolve itself. This is the border station item that I've spoken with about before. It's moving towards a favorable budget office. I've been familiarizing myself with those requirements and point out there are significant changes in terms of how we do business on a regular basis through the direction of the authority budget office and also public health. 1 and 3 time studies are complete at the authority have made the recommendation 1 to the personnel committee for future action, and sure we'll pick that up at a later time. The finance area retrofit is substantially complete at the conclusion of the meeting today. If you've got 30 seconds, in the room back there, and wasn't nice. Steve's crew has done Steve and his crew have done a fabulous job back there, and that should be recognized. As I mentioned, and progress report complete. Outside council matters this month, particularly with the grade crossing case. They'll have a summary prepared for next month, but factory stores in the past month. For the month that continued up with the Section 107 study with the U.S. Corps of Engineers. Particularly proud of isn't yet that closer. With 2 projects, one resulting directly from the Seaway Trade Mission, regional manufacturer. Staff submitted a $300,000 development given locomotive pricing. That was a $300,000 grant request. A couple of highlights on the finance area. The both outstanding customers have been addressed, with the problem customer agreeing to payment plan as we discussed in the Finance Committee meeting. For those members that were present in the Finance Committee meeting. That's good. We've got a capital project model out there for use on projects. Again, thank you to the Finance Committee for the feedback on that. It was great. And The payoff justification for bill referred to the Finance Committee, ultimately to the board this afternoon for action. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have with some of the highlights of what's going on in the period. For 300,000 request. Understanding is the grant is capped at about 100,000. Get that would meet our needs for the next 20-some years. Good news is our used locomotive market is depressed right now. For lack of it, there's much stimulus money going into the purchase of new locomotives. So it's opportune time if we can find the. Absolutely.
Let's hope that don't ever happen again. That issue's still going to be brought up, right?
Yes.
We're supposed to be having a meeting with those folks.
I have requested a meeting with New York and Ogdensburg. They have not supplied dates. We will supply dates. But that has been discussed with the railroad since the last time we met.
Frank, have you talked to any of these folks at all?
No. Last meeting. No. Don't have a meeting. They're hard to bring to the table. And the answer is no. I think it falls upon us. But in particular, things are maintaining them, keeping good repair. But somebody's got to make sure they cut things off. And when you never ask for repair, other than change the oil, you know, they do that because the federal government tracks the oil or the state track. I think it's vigilant as a used vehicle. Stand in to make sure they do it and have it inspected on a regular basis. You pick a time frame to make sure it maintains. Doesn't get like. It's our product because it's our equipment. Even it's like anything else. That's to take care of it, but if you watch what you're doing, it's an issue. I think we're good on the track. Yeah. Need desperately.
Any other questions?
And how about the access road? I mean, it's the bids.
The access road, there's an item in the agenda this afternoon to approve the final design. Now engineer. The access road project itself is up. DOT has reached out to that. We have to get that moving. So far, it has not happened.
We don't have any idea when they're going to bid it.
The construction, no. The contract between OBPA and New York State DOT needs to be approved. That, yeah, the queue.
Any other questions for Wade? Move into the. You're going to handle the finance. You've already spoken with the
packet and finance.
Okay. We'll go right to Mr. Reese then.
John, in your trip to Europe, was there any expectation of hearing back at a certain period of time or point in time from any of the companies or, contacts you made? Is there a timetable you're looking at from that trip at all? Yeah. You folks went to Northern Ireland, didn't you? Did you go to Northern? I just returned from Ireland myself, and I didn't realize how well Northern Ireland was doing compared to regular Ireland as far as budget and all those type of things in your economy, and what the economy of Ireland is based upon, and what the economy of the Northern Ireland is based upon as far as the industrial part of one country and the other country is tourism, thing, whatever. So, yeah. Check all the business firms there. No, to me, I'm saying, you invest your time and your energy, and I guess we don't realize we're in a tough situation here in northern New York, and then you go to other places and you realize everybody's is squeezed too, and it's a fight to do. Everybody's trying to find the survival techniques or modes, a way to enhance their economy, and it's like, But I didn't realize how important to Ireland that the United States was, and what we do here, impacts them greatly. I didn't realize. I thought there was more of an agreement with England than there was, but we're a big player in Ireland, big player. I did see a different style of turbine, wind turbine there compared to the ones we had here. A different little blade system. I mean, the way it was contoured, I guess, whatever it want to be. The way it worked. I don't know, Steve. I really don't know. It was a different style, and I said, I don't know what.
Really kind of a swept blade?
No, actually, the center part was wider. It seemed like it was wider to hold the blade. So, I mean, it didn't look as tall either. But it was interesting how they adjusted the height of them to fit the hill. I mean, if you were on the back side of the hill, it didn't go way up high. The blade was just enough so the air would come over the top. I thought that was interesting what they, instead of just mounting it, and they're all standard height, they had different heights, and, so something new out there. Or maybe it is old, I don't know.
That's interesting you mentioned that, because one of the things that we're doing on Ford Access Road, for example, we're doing something that not what's here now, but generation 3.1 megawatt platform, which is the larger turbines that are coming into the States now.
Yeah. They're everywhere. And we're behind. We're not building them here. I guess that's the way it... Yeah. Well, I just wonder what your timetable is, or what your expectation factor is when you hear people back, but obviously they're struggling too, so.
Yeah.
But Thanks, Jeff.
Any other questions? Okay. Move into the Director of Operations, Steve. That it? Any questions, Steve?
You guys kind of like work together on what available storage space and things like. I mean, so you got you. Okay, I just wonder how that works. You know, just I know you sit next to each other. I got this much room. I mean, obviously you. Your meetings, that's things you discuss. Yeah, well, that's good to know. Okay. Figure something. I don't know what's here. We got a little coming in. We got a room for it. I'll call you.
Committee reports. Finance Committee report. Okay. Audit Committee? Okay. How about the Personnel Committee?
The Personnel Committee has been working with Penske in regards to finalizing interviews, appointments, and recommendations, all types of things. We're bringing back a recommendation for a CFO at a later date. Not sure officially what the date will be, but it'll be shortly sometime this month coming up.
Okay, thank you. We didn't have anything for the facility committee this month, right?
No.
Okay. Unfinished business. Do I have anything?
No, Mr. Chairman. Finished business.
Events and activities. Just outside of what we talked about. You got a lot of people to work the booth out there, John? Volunteers? just a little. I know how much you do for the people. You're all over, Debbie. Yeah. Okay, the next meeting is April 6th. Is that going to work for everybody? Looks good.
Just to give everybody a heads up, I'll be coordinating with the Finance Committee and also the Personnel Committee for an upcoming meeting that's required.
Okay. I guess we can go into the business items, did I? Clean?
Light agenda tonight. After you should say. The one on page 7 was approval of agreement with Department of Justice for the final design from the August. This will keep the project on track and is a $73,000 not to exceed contract, and the funding on this is 90% DOT, 10% BPA.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve that?
Make that motion.
Motion made by Sam. Do we have a second? Seconded by Romero. Any questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Ordered.
B1 for a 5-year capital improvement plan for the Ogdensburg International. We went through this last time with CNS engineers. He would not yet for approval. What we need to do is basically update it every year for those that are new on the board.
And this is depending on federal.
This is depending on federal and state funding.
Funding, right. Okay. Any questions on this?
Yes, excellent example. The rain in the like 2014, 2015, 2042, cycling into the. I would expect you'll probably see some changes in possibly 2011, 2012, depending on the initial result of the airport master plan. The airport master plan would apply some additional outlying years. And if there's it will work its way into 2011, but it will be discussed. We'll have to read capital improvement plan.
This all ties into what John McCain is trying to do with them to stop this? This is part of it?
You're talking about the essential air service?
Yeah.
Or the
whole thing he wants to.
This is FAA funding. This is what's also.
They won't have the funding if they don't have the airline, right?
Well, essential air service is being and the FAA attacked in its own right as well.
So it's all under attack.
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
Now the numbers, Wade, I mean, obviously, is those the numbers that are going to stay, or is they adjust those each year as they go?
These numbers, once we adopt this, these numbers are basically set in stone and change unless the board adopts a different capital plan. We adopt a 5-year plan, basically every year. It's kind of see things move around back in the plan. You'll see additional projects come on. Mm-hmm. Master plan to start.
Think your 2015, your runway. They told us tomorrow morning that money is available now in 2011. Then you'd move your runway up. You move it around.
Yes.
If the money comes available, the quicker it does, then the better off you are.
This comes about from a combination of what OBPA's thoughts are, what our engineers' thoughts are, and what FAA wants to see at the airport. That's basically how the bat.
They want to know we're planning, and they also want to know.
Yeah. So, for example, one of the things that FAA says is you ought to keep a runway. Oh, okay. That's why it's out in 2015. Right.
So do I have a motion to approve this? Don, do I have a second? Steve? Favor, so saying aye? Any opposed?
Approval debt for the 11th industrial bill. On top of the green, it also, as it should have been in the packet, it didn't make it into the packet. $12,000 paid off the debt. Be happy to answer.
By paying this off, if we were to pay it the way it's being paid now, and the paying it off the way we're doing, we're saving what? Would you figure?
$80 a day, is that what you said?
What was it, Debbie? Okay. Do we have a motion?
Yes, 8-7. Bridge financing was at 2.
That's no, I remember.
We talked about maybe reinvesting this money in some maintenance we got to build it. We put in the long run if we pay it off. Like, later, Debbie, somebody spoke on it. The money market out there right now, you can get pretty good rates anyways. If we needed to go there, or maybe we could use our own money rather than that. And that was some of the things that I was thinking about was, do we have to replace anything on these buildings to come in? And I guess they've talked about it. So that,
Well, what you did is shifted the idea of using this money toward the locomotive. Use the grant toward the locomotive, see what happens there, and then put this money back to the.
okay, I guess if we have to get a locomotive, we'll be able to come up with some other.
We've got sources of funds.
No, but I'm just saying that was the
That's right. Do we have a second? Second by Moore. Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Maybe it'll take 310,000 or something. Well, I can write things off. Did I say that long enough?
Item C2 is approval of the agreement with Limcare. 4,160 square feet in the 9th industrial building. This is 1-year term. This is April 1st. Its terms and conditions you see. All other to be released, including remain in full force and effect.
So actually, this is a one-year agreement with the right to renew for another year. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Seriously. And the increase of the renewal for the 1 year would be 4% increase? That's what I'm reading here. Now, we have a motion.
I would just add, that one thing that we should consider revisiting, the guidance from the board at one time was the industrial park lease should increase by each time these come up. It's been a while since we've conditions have changed somewhat. Advocate we talk about that in the future to see if that's something we want to continue on to, given the economic conditions. Do we want to provide? Or in general, what thoughts are, and we'll get some numbers worked up so we can have a conversation of what that looks like.
My personal opinion would be the flexibility part.
Issue for your term. She says, and not have something fixed and stuff. That's easy.
I would just advocate that we need to have a discussion on that future, again, just from our tenants, before continue to hold, given the economic conditions.
Well, in the medical world, we should be doing fine. Motions in the motion on it. Do we have a second? We've been down. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Oh.
There are no other matters? Great question.
Yeah.
We have a motion to close. Okay, next meeting is April 6th.
Thank you.
Damn good vote. Understand? All in favor, signify by saying aye. I want to thank staff and everybody for doing what they're doing. Great job you are doing out there. Any help the board will give you the support, we're here. So,